Hey guys, welcome back to Ciro's Typology. Got a very special subject today. Space. So this is Andy Gold, and I see his reels on my Facebook. Yes, I'm old. I still have Facebook. And he's just so funny. Like, he's hilarious and he's precious, and I love him. It's my two picks. But this face, I mean, this is a 641, my big pain. And yes, that's Enneagrammer terminology. Please don't sue me. I love you guys. But I caught one of his latest today where he's talking about Disney adults, which is like this whole horrifying subgroup of people. And so he's a comedian, right? And his comedy is very much in that like 146 double frustration, double reactive, very negative but relatable stuff. And we'll just check it out.
Shit on Disney adults with their elastic waistbanded homemade pants, two sizes too big Buzz Lightyear shirts, and industrial strength couches, putting a gallon of cornstarch on their bed sores before a 12-hour marathon of Beauty and the Beast on ice. Straight up Danny DeVito from Batman Returns looking ass blue-haired mouth-breathing Landwells with gray skin the color of Russian bologna, and they all smell like the inside of a belly button. Disney adults are unhygienic, crying manatees who, aside from, I guess, methadone pharmacists, are the only people who go to work wearing Donald Duck fanny packs with their glorious TJ Maxx jean shorts accentuating their gigantic crotches that are only rivaled by substitute teachers from the early 90s. If you are a Disney adult, please don't have a nervous breakdown and start throwing your CPAP machine and captive stray cats at the wall. I'm actually just trying to understand. I want to know. I'm a curious little bandit. What makes you tick? What are you running from? Well, not running, but what are you scooting?
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Okay, so it's very cutting. And so that would be like the frustration, the four, the one, double frustration. It can be prickly and cutting. And also like I want to understand. That would be like the double reactive component from 6 and 4.
Away from at top speed on your Craigslist hover round. What kind of unholy, godforsaken inbreeding must have occurred to create all y'all varicose vein having ass 40 something hermits spending all your free time practicing Fantasia in a drainage ditch behind a strip mall with plastic wands and Dollar Tree amulets, shining your Return of Jafar themed ball gag? That's all I'm asking. To be real, I kind of get it. I get being a Disney adult. The real world has rent, war, weird lumps, insurance deductibles, your best friend from high school always posting about chemtrails. Nothing provides better escapism than Disney. But at some point, you have to come to terms with the fact that the Magic Kingdom is not a value system. The female squirrel from The Sword and the Stone is not a actual love interest, adorable as she is. You just need to reckon with the harsh truth that Disney figured out a way to monetize your childhood. They don't just sell season passes anymore, they sell emotional regression that smells like a churro. It's a sensory deprivation tank for adulthood and responsibility. Let's talk shit on Disney.
Okay, so there's so much there. This is actually perfect for typing because it has like a corrective theme of like you guys are clearly delusional with the four-ish emotional landscape of like reality is actually like fucking awful. So I understand why you guys want to escape it. He's seeing it in like such a negative way. It's almost like 4 on 9, 9 delusional escapism violence. And again, just like very, very cutting. And I should have looked up that one comedian who got really popular. He's also in this try, and they have this thing with their words where and he is like hyper articulate, very verbal. But they are like, they never miss a step. Like, everything they're saying is so like clear and concise and cutting. Um, but also in cognitive type, he would be a delta. It's probably a TESI. I haven't actually typed him. There are a lot of TESI comedians, and just like in general, deltas, I'm a delta, by the way. Any SI axis, FITE, deltas tend to be a little bit lighter on the emotional spectrum. So this guy really stands out because he's he's so incredibly negative and nitpicky. Also just, like he's hilarious. I do think he is a core six wing seven. Um, and I was only able to find this one interview. Like that he's got tons of like comedy content and stuff, but I wanted to see like a little bit of his story. And of course, when he talks about his backstory, it's very negative. Like, four fixers are always gonna have like their tragic tale versus like three where it might be like a rags to riches story, but it's always like a story of overcoming, climbing up, not being held down. Three is assertive type. And then, two is doing its own thing. But with fours, when they're talking about themselves or four fixers, sorry, there's always gonna be this really negative component to it of how horrible, awful everything was, how they were always misunderstood. You know, they're not okay, so they're not doing the adapting thing of trying to present it in a way that's gonna like sound good, sound appropriate, like in a three-ish sense. They're just gonna give it to you raw. So I thought this was interesting because it talks about his backstory. Totally lost my point. He was a heroin addict, and at first I was like, "Wait, is that a joke? Were you actually a heroin addict?" But I guess he was. Speaking of, negative emotional landscape.
Well, Andy Gold who just flew in from, I think, Utah, and he's gonna be here tomorrow night performing at an event that they're having here in town. And I asked him if I could do an interview with him, and he said, yes.
This is all accurate so
Thank
far.
you so much.
Yeah, pleasure.
And so he's friendly and he's like, this is all accurate. Like he's working with her like six wing seven core attachment.
You've been doing,
I've been doing comedy a little over 9 years. Actually started in the summer of 2010.
oh, wow.
Yeah, just a few months after I got clean. So, yep.
So you took a show and started to people.
Well, I needed something to do that was stimulating and fun that also wasn't distracting.
So like yeah, stimulating and fun, core head type, seven wing.
Destroying myself. I didn't just want to be a person who was clean and sober. I wanted something that was cool to do. Let's get right to the heart of it. It's a recovery show. I'm a recovering heroin addict. Who else? Just a few of you, huh? Y'all are the sleepy ones. Okay. I feel like I did it before it was cool, before the rest of the country got involved. I got 9 years clean now.
A little bit of like kind of four-ish and this isn't just four, but like I'm not like the other girls. Like I got clean from my heroin addiction before it was cool.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes. People are thrown when they hear it, which is understandable. I don't really look the part. This whole thing ain't really screaming heroin addict.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of sixes in comedy, and they're really good at this, like self-deprecating, making fun of themselves to be relatable, and he does a lot of this.
I look more like Bobby Hill. I look like Woody Harrelson with a thyroid problem. Thank you very much. This is true. I'm in recovery. You know, any NA people in here? Yeah, yeah. That was my shit, man. Yeah. The logo for NA is a diamond inside of a circle, but I think it should be a white guy with a neck tattoo fixing his broken vape with a pair of toenail clippers. Much more appropriate logo, in my opinion. And
So I mean, he's like putting a comedic spin on it, but like with the frustration elements of 1 and 4, it's very fault finding. Like this is wrong, this is wrong, this is awful.
yeah, helped that after a few months I got better at it, and that became rewarding. It was like the first thing I found in my life that I was actually kind of good at, and getting paid to do a job that I felt good at. That was a big thing for me, you know, at the time, because I had just been sort of a scumbag for the years leading up to that. So
Yeah, and you can see I mean, this could be like entirely accurate, but being very, very self-critical. That's, sick stuff, but also that would be really heightened by having a one fix. And also, like, he wanted to find like the one thing that he was good at. And there can be this specificity with people who are four fixed where it's not like this kind of three-ish hustle thing of like they don't have to love their job. They can do good at it, they can excel, they can do whatever's required to be successful. Like he probably did feel really lost in life until he found his niche thing that he was actually good at. And also it didn't feel like work to him.
actually finding something that I enjoyed and that I could do and get paid to do for doing it right was kind of a big deal.
What did you do before comedy?
Well, I was a junkie. Yeah. The only job I could really keep was working for my folks, um, who did their best, but they kind of were enablers, letting me work for them at the garden center. And it came from a loving place. You know, sometimes when they enable, they're doing it with good intentions. But I could be just a totally terrible employee and sneak off and disappear all day long, and they would just keep giving me chance after chance because they thought I was sick and didn't really know what to do. So before comedy, my job was the only job I could keep was working for my dad at his garden center.
Well, whether it's alcohol or drug use, yeah, it is an illness, because addiction is an illness.
It is an illness,
Yeah.
yes.
But what made you decide to?
I don't work the most perfect program, but I do my damnedest. You know, I go to meetings and what have you. The problem is I got a really short attention span. I don't do the best job paying attention in there.
6 wing 7.
I was in a meeting the other day and they were talking about dreams and I wasn't listening. And then they wanted me to talk. I'm like, well, most recently a dream of mine is I'm in the mountains with my dead uncle Steve, who passed away like 7 years ago, and we're digging a tunnel. And then a girl went and she talked about getting her GED. And the guy went and he talked about becoming a construction foreman. So yeah, shit, they're talking about dreams as goals. So, well, so now everybody in that meeting thinks I relapsed and got high the other day. Because I told them it was my big ambition in life to go into the mountains with dead Uncle Steve to dig a tunnel. I mean,
Did you OD?
I OD'd. Yeah, that was October 21st, 2009. I woke up in a hospital in Bountiful, Utah. And
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with this video. The day Eric died was my darkest moment. What's going on? Sorry, guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can see like he probably has like innately a pretty negative like orientation towards life, but because he is a core six wing seven, he can harvest it all and be self-deprecating to to be really, really funny and also relatable.
I knew exactly what had happened. My dad was sitting there, and they had an intervention in the hospital. I had been to other treatment programs before, drug court a couple of times, some outpatient treatment centers and stuff like that.
I feel really bad. I guess that was about his brother. His brother overdosed, so now I feel like a dick.
This was in 2009, kind of at the height of my addiction, where I had sort of accepted that I was an addict and I was a junkie and I probably wasn't going to live that much longer. I had a brother who died of an overdose himself. Um, and my dad was just sitting at the hospital bed and just said, I'm through being mad at you. Right now, we just want you to get well. But I had no interest in getting well. The doctor came and told me what had happened. I had an overdose. They had to bring me back with some Narcan, but all I wanted to do was get out of the hospital to go use again. That was my feeling, is that I was dope sick and in a hospital where I couldn't use. Um, but I agreed to go to treatment. They took me directly from the hospital to the treatment center. Couldn't stop by the house first because they knew I had dope in the house. And I still had no real intention of staying clean, even in rehab. It wasn't until I got out of rehab, it was a 45-day program, and I had been clean and sober for 45 days, which had been the longest I'd been clean and sober in 9 years. And I just sort of said to myself, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to see what this clean and sober thing is like. I went to a rehab in the fall of 2009. It was an amazing spot to help to get me well, but there were some characters in rehab for sure. There was a woman in there. She was an alcoholic and she had Tourette's syndrome. Yeah, I'll give you guys a minute to digest that one. Now, I thought Tourette's was like the involuntary shouting of obscenities, but that's just one form of it. It's also like grunts and ticks and twitches, and that's what she had, and nobody told me. So it's my very first day in there, right?
Also,
Right out of,
okay, so what is he wearing right now? It's like this is like I don't know, it's hideous. Um, I don't know what this is saying about his type other than he's a Delta. We I mean, I don't want to like throw shade on all Deltas, but like we don't have SC. We're not cool. We're so not cool. And like our fashion sense can be we'll just say interesting that this is such like a Delta dude thing to wear. Like this, like it looks like he could have got it at like a truck stop in North Dakota.
I see you, man. Yeah, I just got done detox and I'm still kicking, feeling like shit. I'm grumpy, right? We're in a group and we're like opening up and sharing, and she's to my left, and she suddenly just goes like, and then everybody just carried on like nothing happened. So I'm like, all right, maybe she just sneezed. Then she did it like 5 more times in 10 minutes. And again, I didn't know. So I finally said to her, do you want to stop doing that, please?
So that's the one fix for sure. Cause like my 9S, like I would just be sitting there like, oh my gosh, and I would not say anything. I would not tell someone to stop ticking out. But it's like the sixth thing of doing this really relatable humor because like everyone's had that experience where like you're in a movie theater and there's someone like just screaming periodically, like screaming out like a cuss word or something, and everyone else is like, "What's going on?"
It's obnoxious. If you want attention, there are better ways to get it. She said, I'm sorry, I have a condition, I have Tourette's. It's like, I didn't know that, you can't help it. So there's no way you're gonna be able to stop doing it then? I had felonies, not a lot of hope. I didn't really have any idea of what I wanted to do, but I just had the thought of, okay, I'm gonna try this and give it a shot. And for the first few months, it was pretty shitty or dreadful. Can I swear? I'm sorry, terrible.
Considering where I used to work, yes, we're.
Okay.
Yeah, a little attachment of like, I'm sorry. Can I swear? Can I do that? Like, yeah, he's a core six, but I mean, like his stories are, actually pretty dark. Like he's talking about his overdose and going to rehab while he's, withdrawing from heroin, which must have been awful, but he's still like mining that really negative, like life is so shitty and awful. He's still able to mine it for comedic value. And also like this doesn't even fit in here, but I do think he's probably SPSO because he is really good at like giving the sequential details and like painting a scene of like I was here, this happened, then this happened. And so yeah, just a little bit more linear and not necessarily like all over the place or like zooming way out and making everything um so overarching like SOSP.
Yeah. Uh, I was working a program the best I could, but it really was just waking up, thinking about not using, going to sleep, thinking about not using. And comedy, as dramatic as it sounds, was really the first thing I found to where I wasn't just living a life not to use, but actually started to live a life that was worthwhile and cool and fun. And I started doing comedy about 6 months after I got clean, as I said, and that was the first experience I had of like, because I believe that to have a long-term recovery, you can't just abstain. You can't merely abstain. You have to make a life for yourself that's good and cool and fun and better than the one you had in active addiction. Heroin was the drug of choice, but I didn't discriminate. I could get whatever I could get my hands on, especially when I was kicking. Most embarrassing thing had to have been computer duster. That's the appropriate noise. Yeah. It's the only drug you could get at the office, Max. Definitely had the least amount of street cred. Are you explaining to him what computer duster is? Yeah. There's people in early recovery, so I shouldn't explain it, but it's. How should I put it in a way that it's just when you inhale computer duster and it kills all your brain cells for about 30 seconds. Yeah. It's really terrible shit. And the cashier at the office, man, she's like, I need your ID because kids are using this to huff and get high. Can you believe that? So I just wink at her and be like, well, not just the kids.
What show are you doing here in Houston?
I'm doing a show called Addicted to Comedy at the Council for Recovery, I believe is what it's called. And they have this cool auditorium. It's being set up by Mike and Vanetta over here. Um, it's pretty amazing. When Vanetta was describing to me,
Yeah, this is probably enough material from this. But I thought we could also check out some of his Instagram too, just like his comedy style. It's very like, negative and nitpicky. And I mean that's why it's so funny. Um, like legitimately, like this guy is maybe my favorite comedian. Like if I'm scrolling and I see one of his reels, I'm not gonna skip it, right?
Worry we're addicted to changing words instead of actually solving problems. We're not going to the kitchen to feed the homeless. We're just calling them people experiencing homelessness. As the problem continues to get worse, there's a makeshift canvas super tent housing a family of polygamous crackheads outside the yoga studio, but at least we're using the du jour terminology. A lifeguard will be like, yo, I gotta save that kid from drowning. And we'll be like, well, first of all, they're not drowning, they're experiencing an involuntary water event. Also, why is drowning a problem? Let's not shame people who've drowned. Really, it's less about stopping drowning and more about accepting it. We've convinced ourselves that sanitizing language counts as activism. It doesn't. It just makes us feel good without doing any actual work. And then we problematize language that needs no fixing, like realtors are calling master bedrooms primary bedrooms now. No, I'm not the primary resident. I don't live in a sober living halfway house. And besides, the term master bedroom isn't rooted in slavery. It was invented by Sears Roebuck. So congratulations on atoning for the sins of an obsolete mail order publication. You nasally voiced, do nothing, favorite slam poet, have an ass, Hufflepuff Asperger's nurse. Get a life. Then we decided boyfriend and girlfriend isn't.
So there's so much there. I mean, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, but is like the sheer disdainfulness of a Forfix. Like he has so much contempt for these people. And the 6-4 stem, double reactive, he's drawing attention to all these obvious, like incredibly stupid developments in society, whether it's Disney adults or like language and tone policing. It's all stupid, it's all shit, and he's gonna just harvest it for this incredibly hilarious comedic content.
Good. So we're saying partner. A partner is someone who helps you open an accounting firm. It's the most bland, vacant, sterile, stagnant, boring, uninspiring, nothing term imaginable, and it has no business being associated with romantic love. Meet my partner. After dinner, we're going to forego the awesome rockin' hot sex and just review our quarterly earnings. And we've done away with Native Americans. First it was Indians, not great. Then Native Americans, now Indigenous people, which is fine. But we haven't done jack shit to improve their lives because that would require actual work. All we do is look at something horrific and then just rebrand it. I think we're about 5 years away from the fire department showing up when our house is burning down and then just educating us on how it's called a combustion challenged domicile. I'm starting to worry we're addicted to change.
All right, and then I guess we'll just do one more. Maybe not, maybe more.
Dude, plastic surgery is the craziest roll of the dice. You might look 10 years younger, or you might come out looking like your own mom. Jim Carrey looks like the animatronic version of himself on a Jim Carrey themed Disneyland ride. You might look a little bit more youthful, but you also might wake up looking like the headmaster of a haunted orphanage, sacrificing stray cats to the puppet god every full moon. Like, the Simon Cowell we knew is gone, and now all we have is this sleepy cartoon Rottweiler. Dude looks like a raccoon that just ate an entire bottle of Loratep.
Okay, yeah, and like he's so accurate. Like it's like how does he even come up with this shit? I don't know. He's hilarious. Oh, empaths. Oh no.
Huge ups to all the gals out there who've taken basic bitch megalomania and rebranded it as supernatural empathy. I'd say there's about 50 million white women with oversized dreamcatcher tattoos on their thighs who unironically believe they have magical spirit powers. I'm sorry, Madison, you're not the three-eyed raven of Winterfell. You weren't awakened by the trauma detox sound waves of the feminine divine. You're just a Botox nurse. If your friend's dog died and you feel bad for him, you're just a regular human. It doesn't mean the universe made you one with the quinoa bowl healing realm. Ever since my trauma, I've been sensitive to energy. And then you find out her trauma was just her friend wearing the same stupid ass Oregon Trail Dust Bowl hat to their $9,600 quantum leadership summit. And as far as being sensitive to energy, anybody with a baseline level of perception and common sense can tell when the vibes are off. It's called reading the room. It doesn't mean you're about to be recruited by Professor Xavier and renamed Empathica of Woodland Hills. You don't feel things more deeply than other people. You're just a common stock, self-obsessed egomaniac who hides behind pseudo-spiritual healing gibberish. When I'm in my divine plenty, my inner child abandons what no longer serves me. Actually, your friend just asked you if you could help her move a couch, and you said no. I'm in a season of protecting my peace through selective energy filtering. So that's why you went no contact with your mom when she said you're 35 years old and maybe doing tarot card readings outside of the Cheesecake Factory shouldn't be your main source of income. Y'all don't give a damn about anyone but yourselves, and you've just rebranded it as staying in alignment or living intentionally or holding space. Your entire life is just finding increasingly poetic ways of saying, that's like your problem. Sometimes real empathy is being of service even when you're not in the mood. The highest human vibration isn't burning woody French sage under Mercury's retro dragonfly breast. It's just showing up and being like, hey, you need a hand? Huge ups to all the gals out there who've taken basic.
Okay, so actually towards the end there, it got into some stuff I haven't mentioned yet. Like, so 6-1 stem, that would be double super ego. So he is very much coming from this really negative space of like everything is shit. All these people are like effing retarded and stupid, and I'm gonna like cut them up and just, you know. But he is getting to a very valid point, and I know exactly what he's talking about, and I feel like that was some real violence right there. But like empathy really is just showing up. He's also kind of like, SPSO, bringing it back to the practical realm of like, if you don't want to help your friend move her couch, then just say it. Like, why are you shrouding what's essentially just basic human selfishness and all these like pseudo spiritual terms? Like, you're full of shit and I'm calling you on it. And it's kind of like this very exacto precision of like this, like the 1-4 stem knife and cutting. And he's hilarious. Like, you can tell I love this guy. He's awesome. Um, but yeah, if you guys just, yeah, check him out. This, I feel like I haven't really said a whole lot this time. This was like a super last minute thing. I literally just saw a reel of his and I'm like, this dude is a 6'4" 1. And I'm not really sure of the order. Just core 6, wing 7, with 4 and 1. And I didn't do wings because I didn't want to. I didn't feel like it. But SPSO, if you guys have any thoughts, if you guys also love this Delta gentleman, let me know. Leave a comment. Thanks for joining me. Bye.